Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the OC Hoop Show. And it is the championship edition. Steve, we got a lot of boys and girls teams playing. OC is definitely representing in both sports. And we got a lot of action coming up. All the games coming up on Saturday. That is February 25th, kind of spread out at some different locations a little bit. But let's jump into the boys' schedule, and we'll go right to Division I. This is going to be at the Honda Center, 3 o'clock. Modern Day boys, number 2 seed in Division I, taking on Etiwanda. And this should be a big clash. Monarchs have, we kind of talked throughout the year. They've had some struggles with the outside shooting, but they've brought along a young team. Here they are playing Etiwanda. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, those early season outside shooting struggles have disappeared, thanks largely to Luke Barnett, a freshman who's played great. Scotty Belknap for them has been hitting outside shots. Owen Verna hit 9 3-pointers in a recent game to tie a modern day school record. If you tie any modern day boys basketball record, you've done pretty well. So they got to play Etiwanda, and modern day's playing hotter than blazes right now. Brandon Martinson, freshman post players, played great. Zach Davidson continues to play all Orange County first team level basketball. This will be they're trying for their 24th CF section championship. Modern day is
Wow.
a lot, and Etiwanda's got a handful of them too. Dave Kleckner, the coach over there at Etiwanda, which is 25-4. Modern day's 26-6. Dave Kleckner, the coach at Etiwanda, famous for great defensive play and good guard play. And he's got guards galore this time too. Senior guard Jimmy Baker scored 20 versus Canyon when they beat Canyon in the semifinals last week. And then Amari Campbell, Carrington Pierce. It's a really good team. So Etiwanda is going to be a tough battle for Modern Day. Modern Day may have a little bit of inside size advantage with Martinson and Davidson. We'll see how it rolls out, but they got to play really good defense. Etiwanda teams don't beat themselves. They just don't. Dave Kleckner coach teams don't do that. So it's a really good challenge for Modern Day. Modern Day can do it. They're hot. They're playing their best right now. It's the best time to do so.
Okay, should be a good game. And of course, if you're at the Honda Center and that 3 o'clock Modern Day tip-off on the boys' side, you stick around afterwards and you watch the open games as well. Get your money's worth, because it's going to be a great open division girls final with Sierra Canyon and Etiwanda as well, with the Eagles on the ladies' side. You see Sierra Canyon, you watch Juju Watkins, the USC committed senior, one of the best seniors in the country. And then you can see the nightcap, Centennial boys taking on St. John Bosco from the Trinity League. So how about those Braves in the open division boys final? And of course, they won football Division I. So Bosco's got it going on right now. So how about Division 4A, Steve? We'll take you over to Edison High School on Saturday, 4 o'clock tip-off here. Sage Hill, number 4 seed in 4A, taking on Long Beach Jordan. So the Lightning, new coach this year, came out of the Pacific Coast League, gotten hot at the right time as well, and really flourishing 4A final for the Lightning. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, Sage Hill is 15-11. They've won 11 in a row. So do the math. They were 4-11 at one point. So what happened was Carter Bryant got eligible. He's the son of the coach, Deshaun Bryant.
Yeah.
And he is a 6'8" junior. Any college basketball program that thinks they got a shot at getting Carter Bryant is after him. They've all offered him. Everybody, you just named they've offered him. He's fantastic. Does it all: rebound, scoring, everything you want. But there's some good, some good other pieces there. Johnny Mayhew, Gage Tiller, all playing pretty well for him right now. Long Beach Jordan's going to be the best team that Sage has played, probably by a good measure. Long Beach Jordan's 20-12. Yeah, 12 losses a lot, but some of those losses are teams like Harvard, Westlake, St. John Bosco, St. Paul, many more. They went 10-2 in the Moore League, finished first place there. That's a good league. Dennis Redmond's a very good guard. He scored 24 to beat Pacifica Christian. He had 17 in the second half in that win over Pacific Christian in the semifinals. They're going to have a monster game from Carter Bryant. The other guys are going to have to step up and play their best too if they're going to beat Long Beach Jordan in that 4 o'clock game at Edison on Saturday.
All right. Now, one of the great things is, Orange County basketball is guaranteed one at least one CIF champion,
Yeah.
because you got the all county game coming up in the 2AA final. This game is also at Edison, 8 o'clock. And, they say this one for prime time, and a great way to close the show there at Edison High School, because you got Orange Lutheran, coming out of the tough Trinity League, unseeded, made a great postseason run. They did clip the Edison Chargers by 1 point early on, but they've won a couple more games. And then you got Tesoro, number 3 seed, South Coast League champions. What do you think about this game for the 2AA title?
Man, this is a tough one to call. Orange Lutheran, 3rd place in the Trinity League, playing their, like I say, you play your best of the best time to do so. They beat top-seeded Oxnard by 21 points in the semifinals. John Gazaniga, he's a 6'7" sophomore, 14 points, 11 rebounds that game. Andrew Nagy, he's a 6'8" junior at 14 off the bench. Their best player, point guard Zion Paleo, had 18 points, 14 in the second half. Huge win for Orange Lutheran, 70-49. Man, I didn't see that coming. Tesoro's 28-4. They won the championship, a very good league, the South Coast League.
Yeah.
Carson Brown scored 39 points, 68-65 overtime semifinals win at Culver City. So they're playing great. But it's not just Carson Brown. And Carson Brown, by the way, another candidate for County Player of the Year. Blake Manning's been great for them. Nathan Draper, really tough player. I love that kid. Jake Bennett. It's a coin flip game for me. I might, think about it more and pick a favorite, but right now that's a coin flip game. Could be a close game. It's going to be a very entertaining game over there at Edison, 8 o'clock on Saturday.
So do you think you think Mater Dei and Sage win, or what's your prediction on those games?
It's kind of early to say, because their guard play is so good. You got to think Etiwanda's got a great shot, and Kleckner's such a great coach. But Gary McKnight, the Mater Dei coach, knows how to get a team ready for a big game. Otherwise, he wouldn't have 24 championship rings, more than he's got fingers and toes, right? So Mater Dei's got a great shot at this game, especially if the young people continue to grow. The big games don't seem to overwhelm Luke Barnett nor Brandon Martinson, the 2 freshmen. They're so crucial to their game. I think they got a really good shot. I would kind of favor Orange Lutheran. I think they've played better teams. Long Beach Jordan, I favor in that game against Sage Hill. And so, those are going to be awful tough games for everybody. We're just talking about Orange Lutheran. The girls are playing at 1 o'clock at Honda Center. And I've seen Orange Lutheran girls play. Yeah. And it seems to me that they're a team that has different players step up at different times, right, Dan? Maddie Bogan, when I saw him play, was great. Shea Joko, the shooter, great outside shooter. Inside presence with Taya McPherson and Heaven Johnson inside. They're playing Marlborough, which has a lot of good athletes every year. They're good in a bunch of sports, tennis, volleyball, track, etc. What do you got in Orange Lutheran playing Marlborough on that Division I championship game at Honda Center at 1 o'clock on Saturday? What do you got?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, because Marlborough, who I saw play earlier this year, I saw them play at the Marina tournament against Brea. It was a 55-50 win by Marlborough. But I talked to their coach, and I saw their person. They're very balanced. They got some size, good guard play, well-coached team. But they're also from the Mission League, and that's a really tough one. We've got Sierra Canyon, Harvard, Westlake, Chaminade. So it's a very tough league, just like Orange Lutheran's from the Trinity. Tough league. And then, of course, Marlborough, they really opened some eyes up with an impressive win over number 1 seeded Rosary in the semifinals with some, good defensive play. But I think it's an interesting matchup. Diving deep a little bit more into Marlborough. So they went 0-2 against Harvard Westlake in the Mission League, and they went 1-1 with Chaminade. Those are 2 of the teams that Orange Lutherans beat on the way to the finals. So I think Orange Lutheran's got a good shot, but it's looking like definitely going to be a tough game. And it's really been a great run for Orange Lutheran. Not only is there Coach Charity on maternity leave, but they also in their second consecutive section final. They won 2AA last year, and here they are stepping up in the D1 final and playing really well. So it's going to be a good game.
Saturday at Edison at 2 o'clock. It's Buena Park versus Rialto in the 4AA championship game in girls hoops. way early on, Dan, you told me Buena Park, was a team, a rising team. You said they were going to be in the 4AA finals. Here they are. What sold you so good on Buena Park? Which, from what I know, three freshmen are their three best players. Is that right?
Yeah, they got a great freshman class, and when they have they're got a guard, a post, a wing, and got some good coaching. It also helps that they're from a freeway league where they play tough competition. Going to play Sonora, going to play Troy, Sunny Hills, La Habra. So they also went to the Arizona tournament, and they have they also have one of the best assistant coaches you could want in Orange County in 10 times Southern Section champion Jeff Sink, the former Brea Linda coach, who's also helping out Coach DeAnthony. So I mean there's a lot of firepower there. And but this Rialto team is pretty good, Steve. 27-2, and they're the number 2 seed. Buena Park, the number 1 seed, and they've got some good players. Got a sophomore 5'10" guard. Charrington Davis averages 24 points, and they have a senior 6'3" player, post Anderson, who averages 17 points and 15 rebounds. And they have some 3-point shooter too. So it's going to be a tough game, because you also have to look at, Rialto, interesting enough, in the playoffs earlier in 4AA, they beat La Habra by 8 points. So that's a good gauge for Buena Park. They swept La Habra, and they'll get some good read, and I think they'll probably be pretty well prepared. When you got Coach Sink on your bench helping out with some game prep. So, but it will be a strong, big test for Buena Park because of their youth. I think they might have been playing a little bit better earlier in the year. They've had some impressive results early on, and then they kind of struggled a little bit. Had some injuries to kind of get out of the freeway league, but they still grinded out well, and here they are in the finals. So I think it's going to be a really good game, because it seems like this Rialto team is pretty good. But I wouldn't also be surprised if, because of the injuries and some of the grind for the freeway league, Buena Park might be able to hit a switch and put on a pretty impressive performance. So, Bella Harmon, the point guard, the post. I mean, they got some Alana at the post. I mean, they got some players.
Somebody who's hit a switch too in these playoffs is St. Margaret's. They play in the 5AA girls game at Edison on Saturday at 6:00. St. Margaret's has won 8 in a row, and I think if you look at their scores in the playoffs, like they're beating everybody like 15 points, 18 points, stuff like that. What's going on with St. Margaret's? 26-6. They're on a roll right now.
So yeah, St. Margaret's and Buena Park both in the finals for the first time. Yeah. St. Margaret's came out of the Orange Coast League. They lost twice to Calvary Chapel, who was a pretty good, county ranked team. But one of the big things for St. Margaret's is, of course, they got Josh Markham. I think he's in his second year, coach. So he's, pretty well-known coach on the boys' side, now coaching girls at St. Margaret's. And they kind of blending, a lot of young players with some multi-sport athletes. So I think they definitely have a shot. Gar's the number 3 seed. St. Margaret's the number 1 seed. And Gar's coming off a 1-point win in the semifinals against Marina, 39-38. Marina's not a county ranked team in the top 25, but came out of a pretty competitive wave league. So, but I think I think St. Margaret's definitely has a chance. I looked at some of the schedules that both these teams play, and I think it's besides some of the inexperience probably and some of the youth of St. Margaret's, I think they definitely have a shot to win this game and get their first CIF titles, and maybe they can do the same thing as Buena Park, get their first title. So we'll see how the girls how the girls fare from Orange County. There's 3 girls teams going and 4 boys, so pretty good season so far, Steve.
Yeah, and it won't be over when the CF Southern Section games are done, because the Southern California Regionals come up next week. And if you made the semifinals, like Canyon Boys, for example, your season's not over. You're still going to play in the state tournament, which starts with the regional. So But first of all, we got some section championships to win here for our local boys and girls basketball teams. And Dan and I will be out there with our teammates of great folks that are covering these games for us. So keep up with what we're covering here. It's going to be a fun Saturday for Dan and myself and everybody who's on the court and who's writing about these games. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.